The first time I heard the thunder, I thought it was just another storm. The sky had been dark for weeks. The news called it unusual weather. Scientists searched for answers. Governments urged everyone to remain calm. But deep inside, I knew something had changed. My name is Ethan. I had spent most of my life ignoring God. I was too busy building my career, chasing money, and believing tomorrow would always come. The Bible sat untouched on a shelf, collecting dust. Then the impossible began. One evening, as I stood outside my apartment, the clouds rolled together into a single dark mass. A sound echoed across the earth, not like thunder, but like the voice of a mighty king. It shook buildings. It shook mountains. It shook my soul. Then came another voice. Come. Everyone around me looked toward the heavens. The clouds opened just enough for a brilliant light to shine through. What I saw next would haunt me forever. Out of the light rode a magnificent white horse. Its rider wore a shining crown. In his hand was a bow, but strangely there were no arrows. He looked peaceful, confident, victorious. As he rode across the earth, nations welcomed him. People celebrated. This is the leader we've been waiting for. He will bring peace. He will unite the world. Within months, countries signed agreements that had seemed impossible for generations. Wars stopped. Markets recovered. The entire world celebrated the beginning of a new age. Even I wanted to believe. But something felt wrong. The peace demanded obedience. Freedom slowly disappeared. Those who questioned the new order vanished. No one spoke against it. The rider had conquered not by war, but by deception. Then another thunder echoed. Again the heavenly voice spoke. Come. A fiery red horse burst across the sky. Its rider carried an enormous sword. Within hours, everything changed. Treaties collapsed. Cities erupted into violence. Neighbors turned against neighbors. Nations launched missiles. The peaceful world built by the first rider exploded into chaos. The streets became battlefields. Families fled with only the clothes on their backs. The sounds of laughter disappeared. Only explosions remained. I watched my hometown burn from a distant hill. Smoke covered the sky. The world was at war. Then came the third call. A black horse appeared. Its rider carried scales in his hands. At first, people didn't understand. Then, food disappeared. Store shelves emptied. Bread became more valuable than gold. A week's salary could barely buy enough food for one meal. Parents skipped meals so their children could eat. Farmers watched their fields dry up. The rivers shrank. Animals died. Everywhere I traveled, I saw hungry faces. People traded jewelry for a loaf of bread. Some stole. Others begged. Many simply collapsed. The black horse had brought famine. The fourth thunder was the loudest. The heavens seemed to mourn. Then I saw it, a pale horse. Its rider was unlike the others. His face was cold. His eyes held no mercy. The Bible had named him long ago Death. Behind him followed Hades, gathering every soul that perished. Disease spread faster than anyone could stop it. Hospitals overflowed. Medicines failed. War claimed millions. Starvation claimed millions more. Entire cities became silent. Birds circled abandoned streets. The earth itself seemed to grieve. Death rode everywhere. No borders stopped him. No army defeated him. No king could command him. One night I found shelter inside an old church. The building had been damaged by war. The roof leaked. The windows were shattered. Yet one elderly man remained. He sat quietly reading an old Bible by candlelight. He looked at me and smiled. "You've seen the horsemen?" I nodded. "They're real." "Yes." "Is this the end?" He closed the Bible gently. "No. This is only the beginning." He opened to another page. His trembling finger pointed toward a promise. "Jesus Christ is coming again." I stared silently. He continued, "The horsemen do not rule forever. The king does." That night I finally understood something I had ignored all my life. The greatest danger had never been war, or famine, or disease. The greatest danger was living without God. I knelt on the broken church floor. For the first time in my life, I prayed honestly. I confessed my pride, my selfishness, my unbelief. I asked Jesus Christ to forgive me. Outside, the world was still falling apart. But inside my heart, something changed. For the first time, I felt peace, not the false peace offered by earthly rulers, but the peace that comes from God. Several days later, I climbed a mountain overlooking the ruined valley. The smoke still rose. The world still trembled. Yet as I looked toward the eastern sky, I remembered the old man's words. The horsemen were never meant to have the last word. Beyond judgment comes restoration. Beyond suffering comes hope. Beyond death stands the risen King. The same Jesus who opened the seals would one day return, not riding to deceive, destroy, or bring famine, but to establish perfect justice, defeat evil forever, and reign in righteousness. The horsemen would pass. The kingdoms of men would fall, but the kingdom of God would stand forever. So now, whenever people ask me what I witnessed during those terrible days, I tell them this. I saw conquest, I saw war, I saw famine, I saw death. But above them all, I saw the one who remained in control. And because of him, even in the darkest days, there was still hope.